pretty much responds after being fired by ESPN. Say it ain't so, Shannon. He want everybody to wait till Monday to talk about his situation. We got bills to pay, Shannon. We don't got that kind of money like you. So we got to do this content. We can't wait till money. We got bills to pay. So let's get into the content. Let's do what we got to do, guys.
Obviously, I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week. And really, the only thing that I really ask is like, guys, could we wait until Monday?
No.
My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
No.
I really wanted to be about him, and I wanted to be about my family. I know this coming out will overshadow everything that he's worked his entire life for. And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. And so, as I told him, as I profusely apologized to him earlier today, he said, bro, stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize. I'm your big bro. I'm going to love you regardless. We all make mistakes. And he says, bro, I love you. So I'm done with this. You done with it too. Move on. And I really enjoyed my time at ESPN. It gave me an opportunity to bring my audience that saw me really just grow. Get started gave me, and I was able to bring that to ESPN. So I'm very, very grateful for that. But I just wished, of all things, like I said, they did what they felt they needed to do, and I'm at peace with that. But I just wish, guys, this thing could have waited until Monday, because I hate the fact that I'm overshadowing my brother, the first two brothers in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and this is what the headline's going to be for the next couple of days. So, bro, again, I know you told me this. I don't have to apologize, but I'm going to do it one final time tonight, and I won't apologize again. I'm sorry that I upstaged you in this manner. That was never my intent. You've been my hero. You've been my role model from as long as I can remember. And I apologize, and I thank all my fans for supporting me when I was at ESPN and every place that I've been, be it Club Shay Shay, Nightcap, Undisputed, ESPN. Thank you guys for your support. Now,
man, this is a bad look. We got to talk about it, guys. I'm not going to be on too long. Just a quick live stream. Man, this is crazy, bro. This man responds after being fired from ESPN. And the thing is, I pretty much predicted this situation. When everything went down, I said he's pretty much fired already. They just try to make it look like he just stepped down. No, ESPN been fired him. They just told him don't return back. So he want everybody to wait till Monday, or he was hoping that the news would have came out Monday because it's overshadowing his family situation. No, Shannon, you did that. This is your fault. You retired an entire family. They don't have to work no more because you, first of all, you weren't laying pipe, right? You weren't piping down that woman. I could tell. Look, guys, when you're laying pipe, right? Pipe 101. When you're laying pipe on a woman's back and you pipe her down the right way, she starts to cook, she starts to clean, she becomes ultra loyal, she listens. Shannon was not piping that woman down. Let's just call it what it is. He was not laying pipe. If he was piping down that woman, this wouldn't have happened. He wasn't piping her down. She got upset because somewhere along their relationship, he tried to cut her loose, meaning he was getting tired of her and he tried to cut her loose. These are the mistakes a lot of you guys make. You didn't make the woman cut you loose, you cut her loose. And when you cut her loose, you can't do that. You breaking the rules. Every player know the game. You cannot dump a woman as a man. If you dump a woman, you're going to have to answer for that. She's going to stalk your job. She's going to try to get you fired. She's going to key your car, stab your tires, stalk your home, lie, call the police. She's going to wreck your life because you dumped her. When you dump a woman, she's going to go crazy emotionally, especially if she really wanted to be with you or if she felt you cut ties with her like unexpected, like you didn't give her no notice. You know, like how when they say when you quit your job, give them a 2-week notice, but yet your job never give you a 2-week notice when they're going to fire you. They never give you a 2-week notice, right? They just can you right away. But now, if you dump a woman unexpected, oh, she's going to make your life a living hell. And that's what happened with Shannon. And now he's trying to cop a plea with the viewers. No, Shannon, you should have never made that video. You're saying you want to apologize to your brother. You already did. So why you have it on social media? You're doing that for the gram. You're doing that for YouTube. You're trying to make that apology blend into us. We don't care. This is entertainment. At the end of the day, this is entertainment and this is education. It's entertainment because Monique warned you, right? Cat Williams warned you. Everybody warned you. You know? Even your man, what's his co-host? The co-host on Nightcap, the other football player. He pretty much, what's his name? Ocho something. He warned you, you know? And when you think about that, you've been warned 3 times. And you still went out there and got with a 19-year-old. You got played by a teenager. You retired a teenager from OnlyFans to the point where she's rich. Her family is wealthy now. Nobody got to go to work ever again. You retired an entire generation of people. Oh, Ocho Cinco. Okay. Appreciate it. You were warned, man. Now you messing up your brother's Hall of Fame situation. This is an embarrassment, dog. You're supposed to go on a hiatus right now, fam. You're supposed to go on a hiatus. Stay off social media right now. Take about a 2-week leave. A 2-week leave from social media. Don't even talk about nothing. It's already embarrassing. You lost your money in a settlement. Now you lost your job. That's embarrassing because you did a great job at ESPN. See, I'm not going to drag your professional life, like as a professional, right? Your work at ESPN, you know what I'm saying? You did your thing. The podcast on YouTube, you know what I mean? You're doing your thing. I'm not here we can't knock that. But what we're going to talk about is the fact that you're in your 50s, your late 50s, and you got finessed by a teenager. If this is happening to multimillionaires, black men, getting finessed by teenagers, what does that say about you as a man? How could anybody take you serious when you got played by a teenager? How many other black men are getting played right now? How many other black men are getting played right now and they're on the verge of getting sued by some woman? Because you thought because you have this money, you could dump these women. You can't do that. You can't. You broke the rules, man. Every player know the game. You know the rules. When you have a woman that you had on your team that you were laying pipe and you're a millionaire, you can't cut her off and say, I don't want to deal with you no more. That's going to become a liability in the future. You fumbled the bag, man. You ruined your career. You allowed vagina to take you off your square. This is a stain that will always be there. On social media, we will never forget this. You went from the Hall of Fame to the Hall of Shame. I'll say that again. You went from the Hall of Fame to the Hall of Shame. That's what happened, man. This is crazy. Yeah, I don't feel sorry for him at all. Nobody feels sorry for him on social media. Nobody feels sorry for him because we remember all the videos. Shannon, you said you don't want a good woman. You said you want a sinner. Okay, you got it. Be careful what you wish for. You asked for a sinner. God said, okay, cool. You don't want to get right by me? Boom. The devil came in, gave you a snow bunny. You thought the grass was greener on the other side. Rather than you getting with a black woman, you went and got with them other women. You got some white cooch. I don't know what the nationality of that woman is, but she's white. You know what I mean? You got some white cooch. You know, it is what it is. You wanted some vanilla and you were hooked. You settled out of court because it is alleged that maybe the white girl was probably pegging you. Allegedly. I don't know what you're into. I don't know, what kind of freaky deaky stuff you're into. But I know that you retired her from OnlyFans. So she was into all sorts of freaky deaky stuff. And she most likely did that stuff with you. That's why you settled out of court. Because just like Diddy wanted his secrets to remain secret. But all his dirt came out in the public. And we found out that he's also into men. He likes seeing men pipe. Because any man that would sit there and watch another man get head, he's not only watching the woman, he's watching that man's rod too. So if you a dude and you sitting there like this while a dude getting head and you watching, you gay. There's no getting around that. If you watching another man get head, that's just like you dudes that be watching porn. When you watching porn as a dude, right? This is how you know a lot of you dudes are gay. When you watching porn and a dude is getting head, you watching him get head. So you watching another man's meat. So psychologically, in your mind, internally, you have deposited images of a man's meat. So the image is in your subconscious. So subconsciously, you seeing pipes in your dream. You're not just watching that woman, you're watching a man too. That makes you gay too. No different than if a man is engaging in sexual activity with another man and his butt is being shown on film, you're watching it. That makes you gay. So when we look at Shannon, he was with a woman that was into all that freak stuff. So there's no telling what she was doing to him in the secret that he don't want the world to know about. That's why he paid her quick. Because it's either you guilty that you did violate this woman, because that's why ESPN fired you, because they're like, yo, you settled out of court. Dog, I thought you were innocent. So you did do it. You said on camera what you gonna do to this woman. She recorded it. You guilty, man. You can't get out of this one. Nah, dog, no. Because it's either she played you or you really did those things. It's either she played him or he really sexually assaulted that woman. Probably figuring, hey, I'm role playing. You probably was role playing and you took the role play way out of pocket. Because I could just see it. You probably was playing the big old mandingo. The mandingo slave. I could just imagine some of the role-playing things you were doing with the white woman. You probably put on a slave outfit, made herself look like somebody's wife, and then you went to town and was trying to lay pipe. Like in the movie Mandingo. You remember the scene? Remember the scene in the movie Mandingo? When the black man, the Mandingo, he was in the room and the white woman came in there and she was looking at him, worshiping him and fantasizing, and she couldn't wait for him to lay pipe. And she was like, you know you once a white woman's. You know you once one. And he was trying his best. He was trying to resist the white woman flesh, but he couldn't resist. He couldn't resist. He was trying to be a good old slave. But when he touched the white woman flesh, you know what I'm saying? He was like, man, she was feeling on his meat. And he was like, man, I got to lay pipe. And you saw when the movie clip, he just said, forget it. I got to get me some of this white cream. And he pretty much laid pipe on that woman. Got her pregnant and all. That's exactly what Shannon was doing with that woman. He was playing the role of a Mandingo slave, and that's why he settled with her. That's why he settled out of court, guys. He knew what he was doing. Sad, man. With all the money these guys got, man. Yes, yo. I don't see how dudes just be fumbling all this money, dog, man. That's over some cooch, bro. Cooch. It's 2025. Dudes are literally crashing out over cooch now. You supposed to be a boss. Women are supposed to be coming to you with their cooch in their hand. Now, if you're doing bad like this, Shannon, what that says about a lot of these athletes. Look at Gilbert Arenas. He just got arrested by the feds. Posted $50,000 bond. All these dudes that got money crashing out. All of these dudes that got money is crashing out. That's crazy. Now you want to give apologies to your brother. No, man. We're not accepting no apologies, dog. You done messed up the bag, messed up the family tree, everything, man. We can't be tolerating this buffoonery, bro. Like, this is not making no sense at all. Let's get back into this.
Obviously, I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week. And really, the only thing that I really ask is, like, guys, could we wait until Monday?
No, we not waiting till Monday, dog. We got to do this content now. I got bills to pay, man. I'm a content creator. I can't wait till Monday to talk about this story. Nah. We got to talk about the story now. We got to talk about this now. We got to hold you accountable, fam.
My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really wanted to be about him, and I wanted to be about my family. I know this would...
No, you should have thought about your family before you put pipe in that woman. You met with her at the gym. You were getting set up already, dog. Once she came in the gym, she already knew you were Shannon Sharpe. She was busy working out and she bent over. Once you saw the figure of the white woman, immediately you lost your mind at that point. She already knew what she was doing. 19, young, ripe, and fresh, a young, hot tenderoni. You couldn't resist. You couldn't resist the temptation.
I said, this coming out will overshadow everything that he's worked his entire life for. And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. And so, as I told him, as I profusely apologized to him earlier today, he said, bro, stop apologizing.
You ruined your brother's opportunity, dog. You ruined his life, man. This is supposed to be his time to shine. You took it away. You took away your brother's opportunity, man, over some cooch. That's sad, man.
You don't have to apologize. I'm your big bro. I'm going to love you regardless. We all make mistakes. And he says, bro, I love you. So I'm done with this. You're done with it too. Move on. And I really enjoyed my time at ESPN. It gave me an opportunity to bring my audience that saw me really just grow. Yeah.
Now you ruin everything with the fans because the fans enjoyed seeing you on ESPN. So now who's gonna do all the reporting now? Who are they gonna put up there? You ruined it for the fans. So not only did you ruin your money, now who are they gonna put to replace you? You ruined your legacy. Because if you would have stayed at ESPN, not only are you a Hall of Famer, but you would eventually retire from ESPN. It would have been a big celebration, and your legacy would have been great. Now, you threw your legacy down the toilet now over some vagina. That's what it's going to read on the wall. Shannon Sharpe threw away his career over vagina. Vagina ended his career. Let me see. Yeah, you're right. They can replace him with Stephen A. Smith. Yeah. I mean, Stephen A., yeah, he do his thing too. You know, they got talent for talking about the sports and everything else. I can't knock them for none of that, for their professionalism in the league and all of that other stuff, right? So, because I don't know who they're going to replace Shannon with. You know what I mean? Like, he was really good at what he did, but he allowed Cooch to ruin his life. And see, this is why, as a man, you can't let a woman ruin your livelihood. All you guys that are on the 9 to 5, on the hustle and bustle, you guys coming up in the game, you guys that got money and you living your life, you stunting, you got a few dollars now. You got to be careful, dog. You got to be careful, man. You really got to be careful. Look what happened to Shannon. Look what happened. You don't want to be like Tyrese. What do you want with me? You don't want to be that guy. You don't want a woman's cooch make you come on social media crying. I don't feel sorry for none of those guys. Those guys made their bed when they got with those women because they were after cooch. You want cooch? There's a price. You know? Damn, somebody said club shame. Man, that's club shame. Man. A Hall of Famer to a Hall of Shamer. From the Hall of Fame to the Hall of Shame. Shannon Sharpe. Man. A man lost his lawsuit over a 19-year-old with cooch. How do you talk to your grandkids? Hey, Grandpa, could you tell me about women? I don't think you can have that conversation. You missed out. Now you ruin your opportunities to have conversations with your grandkids. Because you can't talk to them about women because you done fumbled the bag and lost your job. So you can't even talk about it. You know? Grandpa, could you give me some advice on women? You can't even give no advice. You know? Said Cat Williams told him on his own show, leave them girls alone. Him and Monique. That's what I'm saying, man. Cat warned you, bro. He warned you. You can't say he didn't. Even Cat Williams is shaking his head right now like, dang. Took $50 million from this guy, and he lost his career. How much was he getting paid from ESPN? I don't know how much he was getting paid. Let me see if we can find some info. I don't know if I'll be able to get it. Let me see how much Shannon Sharpe get paid from ESPN. Let's see what we get. According to Sports Business Journal, Sharpe was getting an annual base salary of $6.5 million at ESPN. This is sad, bro. Over Cooch. Talk about losing your job, bro. This man lost the bag. I could use 6.5 million. You give me 6.5 million, I'm good. I'm good. I guarantee that money will last forever. This man fumbled a major bag. Plus, he had to give up like $50 million. Wow, boy. This is sad, bro. Not that I feel sorry for him, but man. This is sad, bro. Let me see what this thing says here. Let me see what this is about. It's worth $3 trillion now. Shannon Sharpe could have been billionaire, but passed on $300K investment in mega company. I don't know how truthful that is, but let me see. Okay. Okay, let's see. Shannon Sharpe's. See, I'm trying to look up Shannon Sharpe's net worth, but it's difficult to try to bring that up because it's going to mix his NFL career with other stuff. I don't think you'll be able to get the accurate information with a simple search because he got various things that he do. Social media. I don't even know if he got any distribution, like sponsors or anything like that. He probably still do. But they might end up pulling their support too. Because once ESPN fire you, then comes all the sponsorships. They're going to start to fire you too. And it's going to get really bad. You know? Yeah, he got his own club Shay Shay and all of that other stuff. All of that is good. But at the same time, it was even better when he had his money and he had his career. Because all of those things is what helped those other endeavors. The popularity of being Shannon Sharpe on an ESPN is what builds up his social media. So when you have a company that let you go, even though you might have your platform and all that other stuff, it might be cool. I'm pretty sure he got a lot of money saved up. It ain't like he's broke, but you don't really know the severity of how difficult his situation is after losing to that lawsuit. He got to pay that woman. So we really don't know what his financial situation really looked like. That woman could have took everything he got. You know? Ain't no telling what he lost. So to lose your job when you was clocking in 6.5 million, that's crazy, man. Remember, each of those years add up. That's like that money that money just goes in the bank. That's savings, man. Like, and interest, and it just builds more and more and more. So, and again, when he's working at ESPN, for him, he's just having fun. It ain't even like being at work. It's like just getting free money. Yeah, he definitely need God. That's definitely a fact. But he turned God down. Remember when Monique asked him to settle down with a godly woman? He said he don't want that. He said he want a sinner. Remember? Yeah, you're right. So it's really sad because a lot of that money he lost, none of it will be able to be used for generational wealth or donated back to the black community. That gave him a push as an underdog in life. Yeah, he messed up everything, man. Now every guest on the podcast has to look past this to sit on the couch. That's another thing that's embarrassing, man, because it's like you you want to come to the show, but could that all right, watch this, guys. For him to lose in this settlement situation and lose his job, could that potentially affect the platform? Because now certain guests may not want to be on the show because why? They don't want their brand or their name to be associated with him. Do you see where this goes? This is why these type of situations can mess up all your businesses, man. This is why drama don't sell. It really don't. Because now you might have people that he had lined up to interview, and they might be like, yo, I don't want to be on the show. I don't want to go. Hey, Shannon, I'm gonna have to cancel. Why? I gotta do it, buddy. I work for a particular agency and my sponsors, they don't want me to be on your show. I mean, I really want to be on your show, but it's affecting my money, bro. So I'm gonna have to cancel. That can happen. The next minute you start seeing people mess up the bag, man. Somebody said that show is done. It was served as a purpose for a God's prophets to come on here and on Shannon Sharpe of everything that's going to go down with him, and now that's over. Could be that too. Whereas, I mean, the show with Cat Williams was the best interview he ever had. So I don't know. Cat Williams did predict what was coming down the pipeline. So, and Monique was speaking prophetic too. Told him, if you don't get with a good girl, those other women are going to destroy you. She did say that. She did say that. So it's his loss, man. I just don't like the fact that he's doing all of this public apologizing. If you apologize to your brother, that's between you and your brother. We don't need to see you apologizing. So it's like you doing that for the public. It's like you're embarrassed about the situation and you don't want nobody to talk about it because now all the blogs, all the social medias is going to all be about Shannon Sharpe getting fired rather than the headlines about his brother in the Hall of Fame. You did that, Shannon. That's your fault. You can't look at us and tell us, oh, let's wait, man. Let's wait, guys. I'm trying to focus on my family. Nah, I got to eat. I got to make content. I don't got your money. I got bills to pay. So I got to do my content. You know what I mean? I got to do my content to get my coin so I can pay my bills. You gave away your money and retired a teenager. That's your problem. But I got to do my stories. Just like when you got to do your stories and talk about stuff on ESPN, I got to talk about stuff on my platform. So don't get mad at me. Business is business. It's crazy, man. So I said I was going to be on here short, but it turned into about 30 minutes. I don't want to go no higher than that. So I'm going to get up on out of here, guys. It is what it is. Y'all stay safe out there. Guys, y'all got to learn from this, man. We're gonna talk more about Shannon, tomorrow. Going to talk more about this situation. I just want to get these live streams out there in the algorithm because he responded. He finally broke his silence. I think that he should take a hiatus from social media for about 2 weeks or even a month and kind of gather himself and figure out what he got to do. Because to just come on and do a regular show and you're not affiliated with ESPN no more, that's going to look kind of crazy. You got to think, this is going to affect the platforms, guys. This is going to affect his platforms. Even though he's been very successful with it, him not being connected to ESPN no more, that affects his platforms, guys. That's a complete, it affects his platforms. And here's another thing. How do we not know that those platforms is possibly associated with other agencies and other companies where they get percentages of his money? You don't know what kind of deal he had, what kind of deal he made. I don't know if any of those shows was made 100% from him. It could have been a collaboration of him, ESPN, or him and somebody else, and you never know what's going on, man. It can really affect, listen, the nightcap with him and Ocho. Him not being connected to ESPN affects Nightcap. It affects Nightcap. All of it. Because here's the thing. Watch this. Yeah, there's such thing as fair use where you could use certain content, talk about certain things, the highlights in sports and all that other stuff. But think about it. Maybe he had some sort of deal and agreement with ESPN where he's able to talk about and do certain things, and he's not held to the stuff that we go through as content creators, where he could just do things freely. And now he can't do it no more. You know? Well, yeah, Stephen A., he get to do everything now. Matter of fact, I wonder if Stephen A. Smith talked about it. I'm going to have to check in the morning or later on and find out if Stephen A. gave a public statement about this. He most likely already did. You know, he'd be quick to give his statements because now he's going to be the man. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how close or how cool they are. I don't know if they're cool, you know, because they colleagues. It is what it is. But he may be happy. Listen, it's diabolical, but a lot of times people be happy when you're out of the way. A lot of times people be happy when they know you're not there no more. That's their opportunity to shine. Sad to say, guys, even on a 9-to-5, a lot of you that's at your job, be careful. One of your coworkers don't like you, and they've been praying and hoping you get fired. They smile in your face all day at work, and the whole time they waiting to see you fall, bro. You know, you might have a few people on the job that's cool with you, but for the most part, a lot of your coworkers, they want to see you fired. They want to see you lose your job. When I was on a 9-to-5, people used to plot, run to supervisors, lying on me, falsifying information, trying their best to get me set up so I could lose my job. Always snitching. Can't stand them kind of workers. Always going to the supervisor, snitching. Always got to tell the supervisor what I'm doing. You know, Ringo was this and, you know, Ringo went to go do. Man, shut up, bro. Why are you telling the supervisor what I'm doing? Why are you going to go tell the supervisor I went and dipped off for a bit? Why are you doing that for? They trying to get you fired. No cap. They trying to get you fired. Be careful. So that being said, guys, appreciate y'all stopping by. If you like the content, be sure to give the video a like. You know what I'm saying? You got about 250 in the building. If you think I did a good job with this video, give it a thumbs up. If you think my content sucks, you don't like my hat, you can't stand my shirt, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Let me know in the comments that you don't like my hat, you can't stand my shirt, and my content sucks. It is what it is, you know what I mean? As long as you're respectful, I accept all criticism. That's how I'm able to grow. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So I'm gonna get up on out of here, do what I gotta do. And yeah, man, Shannon done messed up the bag, bro. Big time. Losing your job over Cooch. This should be this should be played in junior high school and high school to teach young men what happens to you if you lead with your lower head. You'll end up fumbling the bag and your job. Always protect your livelihood, guys. Don't let a woman come in between your job. When you go to work, it's business time, bro. When you guys get up in the morning, you go to your job, whether you like your job or don't like your job. When you go to your job, this is your livelihood. This is how you pay your bills. This is how you eat, pay for your car, pay for your house. This is how you live. Don't let no cooch get in the way of your livelihood. Don't ever let that happen to you. You know? Shout out to Solutions. Solutions Sports says you dropped a gem on the effects of social media and dating. It's pathetic to see successful men not withdraw from lonely fans for temporary bliss. Yeah, and that's another thing. This dude was with a woman that was on OnlyFans, a multi-millionaire out of all the women he could get. Anyway, guys, I'll catch y'all later in the morning or afternoon with more content. Y'all stay safe out there. Drive safe if you're on the road. Shout out to all my truckers on the road. Drive safe. Make sure you go to them rest stops. Do what you got to do. Relax. Get something to eat. And yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace and blessings. I'm out. Peace.